All right, let's go ahead and get right into it. Whether you like it or not, the bad news continues to pile up. You know, no matter whether you get mad or you're tired of people like me giving the information to the people, I can't help you. You know, unfortunately for all of us, things continue to get worse. So I know a lot of you guys want me to say that everything is priced in and that you should buy the dip. But unfortunately, in my opinion, everything is not priced in. And I'm personally not buying the dip, at least not right now. So here's what happened. The April Consumer Credit Report came in and it showed that credit card debt, consumer credit card debt was up $38 billion, which beat the expectations of $35 billion. As a matter of fact, credit card debt rose $17.77 billion while non-revolving credit, which includes auto and student loans, went up $20 billion. On an annual basis, consumer credit grew 10%. That is terrible. That means more Americans are borrowing money. They're borrowing more money. Already in a recessionary environment. Why are Americans borrowing more money? There are two reasons. Inflation is kicking some Americans' butts, and they just downright can't afford to make ends meet. So they gotta borrow. They gotta borrow money. They gotta take some credit. They gotta get a credit card. It is what it is. It's a tough environment we're in with inflation. That's one reason. The other reason is a lot of Americans are stuck in the 2021 bubble. You know, they're stuck in the stimulus era. They're so used to having all this money coming out of nowhere. You know, unemployment paying you more than your job is paying you. You know, STEMI check, PPP loan, SBA loan. They're so used to all of that. Some Americans are borrowing money to keep up with that 2021 stimulus lifestyle where everybody was, you know, doing all kind of crazy stuff with their money, right? So you've got that going on. Revolving credit balances continue to grow. The Fed's research monthly consumer credit report says revolving credit, like credit cards, grew a massive annualized 19.6% in April and has now reached $1.10 trillion. This is according to information from the Federal Reserve. This is the third consecutive month of consumer lending exceeding $30 billion. The writing is on the wall. There is nothing good happening, folks. I can't say this enough. But I know people are going to get mad and it's all priced in. I buy the dip and I don't care what you know what you're talking about. I'm going to put all my money in the fire pit. You do what you want to do. And again, you're free to disagree. I'm not saying that I'm 100% right about everything, but I do think I'm right about this. I think you ain't seen nothing yet. But hey, people are jittery with their money. They can't just sit back and just wait. They just have to buy. So fine. Do you. But I'm going to continue to share my opinion, and I want to make it very clear. This is just my opinion. You don't have to follow it. You don't have to believe in what I'm saying. You can think I'm a total idiot, but I'm going to continue to share my opinion on my YouTube channel. Okay, so another huge thing that came out today, the Atlanta Fed GDP tracker actually pointed to a substantial recession risk in the U.S. sooner than what the market thinks, right? A widely followed Federal Reserve gauge that came out from the Atlanta Fed is indicating that the U.S. economy could be heading for a second consecutive quarter of negative growth, which would indeed put us in an official recession. Remember that data of whether we find out of whether we are in an official recession or whether we get negative print for GDP for Q2 comes out on June 29th. That is this month. That is literally in a few weeks. That is not far away. And holy freaking cow, folks. That is why I reiterate on this channel that I don't think June is the time to buy it all. I think there's just too much uncertainty. You got CPI coming out on Friday. You got the FOMC with the Fed. Then you got GDP. It's like, me personally, I think I'm going to sit this one out and wait and see how things go, right? But anyway, I just wanted to give that to you guys because that credit thing is really serious. Americans borrowing more money and taking on more debt is not good. That is not good. The other part to this that I forgot to say is American savings are actually going down, and you actually have some banks out here that are projecting that Americans are actually going to run out of savings within like 3 to 6 months because they're using it. They're either using it to travel or do whatever they do, or they're using their savings to make ends meet. You see, when the Fed is not pumping money into the economy, things get rough. You know, this further proves that 2020 and 2021 was a Fed-induced bubble. They pumped a bunch of money into the economy, stimulus, PPP, unemployment. Some of that money went to the stock market, stimulus checks. And these are the ramifications of it. Now things are starting to hit the fan, and this is what we are going to. So I am going to continue to reiterate my opinion. And remember, it's just my opinion. You don't have to agree, but I continue to reiterate my opinion that I still think we have much further to go. I think the stock market is going to crash really bad. Obviously, you cannot predict this stuff, which is why I do still buy stocks, but I'm only buying index funds. I've made that so clear. I do still continue to dollar cost average into index funds, but individual stocks, I am waiting patiently because I truly do believe that more pain is to come. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I will happily admit that. But based on all of this terrible, terrible data that we're seeing, I still think that things are going to be very bad. And you also have to remember, I'm not a trader. I'm a long-term investor. So this is just how I think. This is what I do. So anyway, there you guys have it. That'll go ahead and conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I just want to reiterate, whether you like it or not, the bad news is piling up. What else can I say? So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video.